All right, everybody, we're going to be reading Deuteronomy 15 to 16, 17. And getting ready for the Torah this coming week. Thank you, Father. So Deuteronomy 15, verse 1. At the end of every 7 years, you shall make a release. And this is the manner of the release. Everyone who has a loan to his neighbor shall release it. He shall not exact it of his neighbor and his brother, because a release has been proclaimed for Yah. You may exact it from a foreigner, but your hand shall release whatever is yours with your brother. Only that there shall be no one in need among you, for Yah will greatly bless you in a land that Yah your Elohim has given you for an inheritance to possess it. Only if carefully you will listen to the voice of Yah your Elohim, and take heed to do all this commandments, which I am commanding you today, for Yah your Elohim will bless you as he promised. And you shall lend to many nations, but you shall not borrow. And you shall rule over many nations, but they shall not rule over you. If there is a poor man among you, one of your brothers inside any of your gates, in your land which Yah your Elohim is giving to you, you shall not harden your heart, nor shut your hand from your needy brother. But you shall open your hand wide to him, and surely you shall lend him enough for his need in that which he lacks. Beware that there is no evil thought in your heart, saying, the 7th year, the year of release draws near, and your eye be against your needy brother, and you give him nothing, and he cry to Yah against you, and it be sin to you. We're up to verse 10. Surely you shall give to him, and your heart shall not be grieved when you give to him, because Yah your Elohim will bless you for this thing in all your work, and in all you put your hand to. For the needy will never cease from the midst of the land. On account of this, I command you, saying, opening, you shall open your hand to your poor and needy brother in your land. If your brother, a Hebrew man or a Hebrew woman, is sold to you and serves you 6 years, then in the 7th year you shall let him go free from you. And when you send him out free from you, you shall not let him go away empty. You shall richly adorn him from your flock and from your threshing floor and from your winepress, and that which Yah your Elohim has blessed you, you shall give to him. And you shall remember that you were a slave in the land of Egypt, and Yah your Elohim redeemed you. On account of this, I command you this thing today. And it shall be, if he says to you, I will not go out from you, because he loves you and your house, because it was good for him with you, then you shall take an awl and shall put it through his ear and through the door, and it shall be your slave forever, and he shall be your slave forever. And you shall do so to your slave girl also. It shall not seem hard in your eyes when you send him away free from you, for the double of the hire of the hireling, he has served you 6 years, and Yah your Elohim will bless you in all that you do. The firstling males that are born of your herd and your flock, you shall sanctify to Yah your Elohim. You shall do no work with the firstling of your ox, nor shear the firstling of your flock. We're up to verse 20. You shall eat it before Yah your Elohim year by year in a place which Yah shall choose, you and your household. And if there is any blemish in it, lameness or blindness, or any evil blemish, whatever, you shall not sacrifice it to Yah your Elohim. You shall eat it inside your gates, the unclean one and the clean one alike, as the gazelle and the hart. Only you shall not eat its blood. You shall pour it on the ground like water. All right, that was chapter 15, everybody, of Deuteronomy. And now we're going to read the first 17 verses of chapter 16. And that's going to be the Torah reading for this week. And you have the rest of the week to study it and get ready for Shabbat. All right. Chapter 16, verse 1. Observe the month of Aviv and perform the Passover to Yah your Elohim, for in the month of Aviv, Yah your Elohim brought you out of Egypt by night. And you shall sacrifice a Passover to Yah your Elohim of the flock and of the herd in the place which he shall choose, to cause his name to dwell there. You shall eat with it no leaven. You shall eat unleavened bread with it 7 days, even the bread of affliction, for you came out of the land of Egypt in haste, so that you may remember the day that you came out of the land of Egypt in all your days of your life. And there shall be no leaven seen with you in your borders 7 days, nor shall any of the flesh which you sacrifice the first day at evening remain all night until the morning. You may not sacrifice the Passover offering inside any of your gates, which Yah your Elohim gives you. But at the point which he shall choose to cause his name to dwell there, you shall sacrifice the Passover offering at evening, at the going of the sun, at the time when you came out of Egypt. And you shall cook and eat in the place which Yah your Elohim shall choose. And in the morning you shall turn and go into your gates. You shall eat unleavened things 6 days. And on the 7th day shall be a solemn assembly to Yah your Elohim. You shall do no work. You shall number to yourself 7 weeks. When the sickle begins to reap in the standing grain, you shall begin to number 7 weeks. And you shall keep the feast of weeks to Yah your Elohim according to the measure of the freewill offering, your hand which you shall give according to Yah your Elohim blesses you. Verse 11. And you shall rejoice before Yah your Elohim, and your son, and your daughter, and your male slave, and your slave girl, and the Levite that is inside your gates, and the alien, and the fatherless, and the widow that are among you in the place which Yah your Elohim shall choose to cause his name to dwell there. And you shall remember that you were a slave in Egypt, and you shall take heed to do these things. You shall perform the Feast of Tabernacles 7 days after you have gathered it from your grain floor and from your wine presses. And you shall rejoice in your feasts, you and your son and your daughter and your male slave and your slave girl and the Levite and the alien and the fatherless and the widow, all that are inside your gates. You shall keep a solemn feast 7 days to Yah your Elohim in the place which Yah shall choose. For Yah your Elohim shall bless you in all you produce, and in every work of your hand, and you shall be altogether joyful. These 3 times a year shall all your males appear before Yah your Elohim, in the place which he shall choose, in the feast of unleavened bread, and the feast of weeks, and the feast of tabernacles. And they shall not appear before Yah empty. All righty. And then verse 17, but each with his gift, but his hand according to the blessing of Yah, your Elohim, which he has given you. That is the Torah reading for this week, everybody. And Yah be with you all. Have a blessed day. Thank you for your prayers for this ministry. And shalom, shalom.